Good day, grade 9 students. I'm here again, your health teacher, Ms. Krishna Directo from Justice Eliezer de los Santos National High School, to give you bountiful of learnings specifically on substance use and abuse. Before we start our lesson, please do not forget to comment down your name, school, and section for your attendance today. And while you are doing that, kindly watch the 5 netiquettes you must follow before and during our live stream class.
Netiquette during live stream class. Be on time. Be ready before the live stream class starts. Get your module, paper and pen, ready for activities and lectures. Have a good location or study corner. A non-disturbing and comfortable environment will have you learn easily. Use proper language. Use appropriate words in giving comments or suggestions. Proper punctuations when expressing your thoughts will avoid misinterpretations. Do not abuse the comment box. It is a place where you can share ideas and ask questions about the lesson. Treat it like the learning tool it is meant to be. And lastly, think before you type. Be respectful toward the others and avoid hate speech. Any form of bullying is strictly discouraged.
I hope that you are all guided with the 5 netiquettes you must follow before and during our live stream class. And now, let me give you the most essential learning competencies that we are about to discuss today. 1. Corrects myths and misconceptions about substance use and abuse. 2. Recognizes warning signs of substance use and abuse. 3. Discusses the short-term and long-term effects of substance use and abuse on individual, family, school, and community. And lastly, for number 4, explains the health, sociocultural, psychological, legal, and economic dimensions of substance use and abuse. In the previous lesson, you learned about some basic terms used in the study of drug use and abuse, such as drugs, drugs of abuse, drug dependence, drug misuse, drug abuse, and drug tolerance. Knowing all these help us describe different drug scenario in the Philippines. You also learned the classifications of drugs of abuse. Now, let us have an activity to see if you can recall some of them by rearranging the scrambled letters to get the correct classification of drugs of abuse. Are you ready? Let us start.
1. Drugs that speed up a person's central nervous system. And the answer is stimulant. 2. These are drugs which relieve pain and induce sleepiness. The correct answer is narcotics. 3. This can be found in ordinary household such as chemical products and anesthetics. The correct answer is inhalants. For number 4, these are drugs which distorts reality and facts. And the answer is hallucinogens. Last but not the least, number 5, a drug which slows down a person's central nervous system. The correct answer is depressant.
I believe that you really learned a lot from your past lesson. Do you know that drug misuse and abuse can lead to drug addiction, which is very harmful to our health, and when it becomes worse, it can lead to death? That is why it is important that we are aware of the signs and symptoms of drug abuse and its short-term and long-term harmful effects, and correct different myths and misconceptions about drug use and abuse. Moving forward, let us see if you know something about our lesson by answering the pre-assessment. Kindly write M in the comment box if the statement expresses wrong idea about drug use, and F if it shows correct idea about drug use.
1. Drugs of abuse improve memory. 2. Drugs of abuse brings danger to life. 3. Drugs of abuse remove life's problems. 4. Drugs of abuse do not help digestion. 5. Drugs of abuse hits up the body. Now, let's find out the correct answers. Congratulations, everyone.
Myths and misconceptions, which are also synonymous to each other, refer to incorrect opinion and understanding about drug use and abuse. Some people tend to use drugs due to these existing beliefs, aside from curiosity. That is why there were individuals who go on with life miserable, because they thought that using drugs of abuse can produce pleasure. Now, let us try to understand some of these myths, misconceptions, and facts about drug use and abuse. Drugs of abuse improve memory. It is believed that when you need to retain in your memory what you have read, you must take drugs. But the truth is, when you take drugs, your brain has no capacity to think better and never perform quickly. Drugs of abuse shut down proper brain functioning, and several tests on performance and cognition have proven that they have performed worse when taken in. So, drugs of abuse do not improve memory, and that is a fact. Drugs of abuse help in the digestion of food. Some people thought that drugs of abuse stimulate the production of acid in the lining of the stomach, which dictated by the brain not to eat. That may result to loss of weight. But the truth is that when you skip meals, you're constantly exposed to higher than normal acid level that damages stomach linings, which can result to ulcer. Drugs of abuse do not help in digestion of food, but instead we can get disease out of it. Drugs of abuse remove life's problems and worries. There are several reasons why some people use and abuse drugs. They believe that this would help solve or somehow forget their problems. But the truth is, constant and prolonged use of drugs may worsen the situation and will just add to our problems in the future. Drugs of abuse worsen life's problems and worries, and that is a fact. Drugs of abuse hit up the body. Drug users believe that certain drugs cause the body to become warmer, which makes the body temperature rises. In cold countries, drugs are used to heat the body. But the truth is, drugs of abuse do not heat up the body. Instead, they make the body lose heat faster than normal, and that is a fact. Now that we correct some myths and misconceptions about drug use and abuse, I hope that you also clearly understand the fact that drugs of abuse can affect and harm not only the system in our body, but also our feelings, mood, judgment, and decision making. These changes can happen when a person continues to use and abuse drugs. It can be hard to recognize when you or someone in your life has a substance use disorder. Denial is common, but addiction can be devastating. That is why it is important to understand the signs and symptoms of drug abuse. And here are some. The effect of drug misuse, abuse, and addiction depend on the type of drugs or substance a person is using. And this all can lead to both short-term and long-term effects. And now, let me present to you some of these health effects based on their classification. Did you know that people who engage in drug use put themselves at risk for contracting or transmitting viral infections such as human immunodeficiency virus or HIV and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome or AIDS? HIV is a blood-borne virus which is transmitted from one person to another through blood transfusion, sexual intercourse, exchange of body fluids, and from mother to child during pregnancy and breastfeeding. Drug abuse may lead a person to have high risk behaviors that may lead to the spread of HIV or AIDS.
1. Injecting drug users or IDUs. When people inject drugs and share needles to another drug equipment. 2. Poor judgment and risky sexual practices. When drugs impair judgment and people have unprotected sex with an infected partner. This can happen with both men and women. 3. Prognosis of disease and drugs. Drug abuse and addiction worsen HIV or AIDS infection. And 4. Delay in drug abuse treatment. Medical study has found that the longer drug users delay drug abuse treatment, the higher the chance of getting and spreading HIV. For the past assessment, please identify whether the given statement is an effect to oneself, family, school, or community.
Drug abuse and addiction is one of the major problems of our country today. Drug awareness education from school, support of the family, and programs from government and non-government sectors are a big help in eradicating drug addiction in our nation. But the option to be healthy and drug-free community is in our hands. Life can take you higher than drugs. So take care of your life and say no to drugs. Thank you and have a nice day.